Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI, and we're taking a look, or we're taking a look at, yes, indigenous technology, its place in technological relevance in Nigeria. That's what I want to take a look at. Talk about technology, agriculture. You just name it. How can indigenous technology help out, knowing fully that sometimes getting these technology elsewhere, the dollar equivalent can be so high, people be so scared. So how can we manage this trend to manufacture our own that will be affordable by many Nigerians? Well, me here in the studio is Reverend Lugard Ehoswehi Michael, General Superintendent, Duwas Ministry, and of course is the CEO, Amatech Resources and Logistics. As the chairman of the Cultural Machines Equipment Fabricator Association of Nigeria, Amethan Edo State Chapter, and member of Benin Chambers of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, Bensima, Edo State. It's a pleasure to have you join me here in the studio this Sunday morning.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be in your presence and speaking to our people across the world.
All right. And I also remember he's a clergyman. Take a look at the reverence. Pastor, on this platform, you're an engineer, so when you get to church, you do your thing. But right now, all the questions I'll be asking you this morning is based on indigenous technology. After all, you're a member of Nigerian fabricators, right? Yeah. You do some 1 or 2 fabrications for machines, for agriculture, but people like saying that the reason why people do not trust our indigenous fabricators or ingenuity, so to speak, is because of that substandard nature. They don't meet to global specification. Hence, Nigerians are doubting the efficiency and efficacy of indigenous technology in various spheres of life, vis-a-vis agriculture. What do you have to say about it?
Well, in everything, there's room for advancement. We are not reinventing the wheel, but in every technology, there's advancement that's required. I'm not criticizing people that have their doubts. It's natural to have your doubt. But that gives us more impetus, more energy to develop and create more models to improve our qualities. This is not new in the world. Everything we use today that have the standard we assume it has started somewhere, and they keep improving due to the feedback from the users. So it's a good thing to say these things you just mentioned. But it gives us the value and the knowledge to be able to know that we need to do more, that Nigerian technology can be of a greater standard, just like anywhere in the world, as that of the Chinese, as that of the Germans, as that of the Americans. If you look at the history of vehicles, you will see how it started. But today, the kind of vehicle we find is not as when the way it were when it was started. So also it's every other technology. We are just an emerging nation. So give us a room and time. Criticize us, we love it. It will help us to innovate more.
It's all about innovation. We had a situation whereby some young, brilliant Nigerians have come up with wonderful ideas. You get to see a prototype of either a tractor, an aeroplane, a helicopter, drones, you just name it, power generating set. All of a sudden, you don't hear about it anymore. What do you think is responsible for this?
That touches my heart. And Nigerians are so talented. We have proven that in many spheres. In the music world, in the theater world, nobody gave us a slack, nobody gave us a chance to excel. But today, our music are taking over the world. Also, it's our theater. So also our technology can do the same. Those are also Nigerians in that area. In the area of technology, we also have the same talented people. But what it requires is more investment, more support for these talented ones by the government, philanthropies, and bodies, and also to improve our educational system. We have a lot to offer the world. We also know Nigerians are proving themselves internationally. So that same Nigeria are valuable in Nigeria itself. So therefore, we can provide those kind of advancement. Mention people have invented drones, and different machines, tractors. It's the government that is now required to support these people, identify these people, have documentation. If you ask for the documentation, or where are those people right now, you can easily, you may be difficult for you to go to any ministry to say, this person that invented so, where is he? They may not have. I'm not saying they don't have, may not have. That's proper documentation is required for investment to come into those sectors that will improve our economy and the social well-being of our state.
Well, some of the opinion that Nigerians seems to be the problem because they want to go for already-made goods. They'll be like, why would we waste our time going for someone that is still, or will I say tech that is still evolving when we have already, a tech that's standard globally, rather than coming down here to pick up this wireless trust, not just go out there and purchase the one that is of standard. I mean, this mentality of Nigerians, do you think is healthy for our own technological drive?
For me, it's when you love your nation enough and you're patriotic enough, you should be able to appreciate what you have. The Chinese, as 1970s and 80s, we were also in Nigeria rejecting their products. We were buying JVCs and Panasonic. It has to come from Germany. It has to come from Japan, right? But today we are rushing to China because they were resilient. They were patient for them to continue to develop. They continue to consume their own. That is an aspect of patriotism. Appreciating your own. Do you imagine going to all those places that I've mentioned? The capital flight, the drain on our foreign currency, and whereby unemployment thrive here. And you are creating employment elsewhere, patronizing them, paying their taxes, paying their salaries over there, and living your own country. And therefore, you see the impact of unemployment. Young graduates don't have a place to go. And you see different evil vices, and you are complaining. You are contributing to the things going on in this country that are not palatable by creating the vacuum for people to be idle and unemployed. So this consuming of the foreign goods, the perfected ones, you forgot that none of those places you buy from patronize your finished goods. They easily patronize your raw material, buy from you, refine it, and bring it back to you. And you now pay for the cost of the raw material, the cost of their labor, their tax and importation, and at the end you are zero, and you are complaining economy is not going forward. When you're having net zero, or even in the minus. So we are only developing other nations and leaving our own behind. So this appetite to consume the foreign good that is already made, it's an aspect I would call unpatriotic. Give a chance to yours. Support that which is yours. See what those nations are doing to their own people to get to where they are. We are not reinventing the wheel. Let's do the same they have done. We'll get the same result by having to patronize our own. Give us a chance. The government should support and subsidize insurance companies to come in place so that the consumers can have confidence that their product may not be giving them the result, but there's insurance company that can help to ameliorate those lapses.
All right. Now, you keep saying that you guys are not reinventing the wheels. That means you're doing most the same thing these other persons are doing in other climes. But people want to see something new, something different that can really attract their attention to indigenous manufacturers. How come that has not been done? Innovation.
Yeah. Innovation.
New ideas.
New ideas, innovations are going on a daily basis. But it must suit your system. Nigerians should be very impressed to know that they have Nigerians who are interested in their nation, bringing out new ideas to solve the indigenous problems. Chinese do not have the same climate as we have. They don't have the same society as we have. So it's the indigenous technologies, engineers, that can solve the problem peculiar to us and adapting our system, our machineries, to our own needs here. You find out, I'm not doubting any other technology, but may not be well adapted to our system. So we do need to innovate, really, to adapt to our needs here. And it's only us that are here that knows our needs. They say he that wears the shoe, the way it pinches.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Now, what about technological schools? Because take a look at tractors, like, some countries in other climes are way, way ahead of us in agricultural machines. You understand? They are way, way ahead of us in preservation, way, way ahead of us in transportation. Some are saying that if we really want to focus on our own indigenous technology, it is more expensive. And get to your own saying, look, before we get this part, get this other part, coupling them together, bring them together, it amounts to X, Y, Z. Why? For those orders in other climes, it's like, cheaper. So why would you tell someone that can get something for far cheaper price to come patronize indigenous goods that is way, way high up when you talk about price difference?
When you mention that,
Yeah.
there are different factors. For instance, the semi-raw materials are being produced where it's being consumed and made into products in those countries. Nigeria don't have much of semi-raw materials. So therefore, most of the raw materials we consume here to produce those things locally, were also imported already. The cost of import is already in the raw material itself. Unlike countries that produce this semi-raw material like China, they don't pay that cost of import for their raw materials. They just produce straight with cheap price from the factory. But we have to go to intermediaries to get those raw materials. So you see the cost that have been added by intermediaries there. So it adds up to the cost of production. So therefore you expect that the price will be high. But the advantage we have is this, that in cost of maintenance, you have a ready-made product here and a ready-made service here to service those products for you. Unlike when you buy from other countries, you will need their expertise in terms of repairs and maintenance and continuity and sustainability. But when it's locally done, two things you have done. You patronize, you retain our foreign exchange here, you've created job here, and you're giving chance to improve here, and also you are safe in coming to the maintenance aspect. So there's a lot of advantage having to patronize a local and indigenous technology.
And don't forget you said local indigenous technologies like, evolving.
Yeah.
Even already made that is cheaper. Don't you think the government should come into this to really help out local fabricators and local manufacturers? After all, some people are saying that subsidy is the key to the survival of local industrialists. How would you feel about that assertion?
You've spoken rightly. It's what we require here. Like I said a while ago, these other countries that are doing well, go and look at what their government are doing to support export, to support creation of jobs, to give opportunities to their talented citizens. And what they do, we just may learn from them. So you find that their cost is part of the factor that is inhibiting maybe the product as you want it. See, if the government comes in to subsidize and come to support, what about government itself patronizing the local product? Let's start from there. Have you seen the cars that are on the street ridden by the government officers? Have you seen the product even up to their offices? Let's assume this comes locally. They will be able to criticize more so that this indigenous expert can do better because their government is using it.
But some would say it's going to be beyond the reach of the common man.
It's
Cost implication.
Yeah. If it's subsidized, like you said, Wilson, Mr. Wilson, I mean.
I'm cool with Wilson. I'm cool with Wilson.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If these products are well subsidized,
Yes.
with cheap loans or even grants, you find that the cost will be lower. There will be conditions. If the government subsidizes, the condition will be attached to the cost. That is why the government comes in to assist. So therefore, the consumer, the citizens, will find it cheaper as it's been done elsewhere. So that's it.
Well, some of these opinions are because of the dollar-naira exchange, because of the floating of the naira, definitely local manufacturers unable to meet up to standard without increasing prices tremendously. How can this be salvaged?
When you talk about the dollar rate exchange and fluctuations,
Yeah.
this is why the government should place emphasis and seriousness to local manufacturing, because this is what affects the rate. When you consume and import and do less of export, what do you expect of your currency? If you want to retain the value of Naira, there should be emphasis laid on indigenous creativity and indigenous engineering, indigenous product to be consumed locally first and to be exported. Then to affect the value and stability of our currency. It's not that the government are not aware. They are better economists. They are better professionals that knows this. But the question you will ask, why is it not being done? Why are we not critically looking inward? Why are we not relating with this? But why should the government look as if they are in parallel line with the citizens who are supposed to create the job? It is the indigenous engineers, technologists that provide the machineries to create jobs, whether in agricultural sector, industrial sector, finished goods, and everything you expect. These are the pillars of development. Why is government not calling on them? Let's sit around the table. Let's discuss this problem. Let's provide solutions to them locally. If the outsiders are not patronizing, let's use what we have. Let's use our brains here. Let's use our talent here. Let's use our product here. Power, transportation, agricultural value addition. Let's do it here. Let's have food sufficiency. It's a problem. Let's have all these things done. Come to the table, not government profiling without consulting with the critical stakeholders. That's where the problem lies. I believe as we speak, the government officers, the governors or whatever other persons might be hearing us right now. Let them call. I'm Reverend Luke Gary Koswe, the chairman of Agric Machine Equipment Fabricator Association of Nigeria, Edo State. Let them call to a roundtable. What do we do with this sector? What do we do with creating small-scale machineries? Like it's been done in India, like it's been done in China, like it's been done in Brazil. I believe with the youth population we have, about 60 to 70%, if we trust our indigenous technology to go into industrialization, skill acquisition, entrepreneurship, job creation, and at the end goal for food sufficiency, you will find the problem that are ills in our society will be reduced, because large population of our youth will be engaged and they will be valued. And this aspect of JACPA will be reduced. I believe the right thing is known. But why is it not done? Why is the government not calling on critical stakeholders to say, come, this is a specific problem. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. They said government have no business in doing business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they have duty to provide the enabling environment and infrastructures that the business and entrepreneurs will thrive in terms of power, good rules, digital networks. Stable, sustainable digital network available in all rural communities. Therefore, the entrepreneurs can provide these industries, solar power, solar installation in the rural communities. And we'll have people engaged and employed. The cry for unemployment will be well reduced. I'm saying today, let the government come in to say, we are serious. We really want to solve a problem. We want to leave behind a legacy. I believe every government that comes in has good intention, but implementation is a problem. Who do they deal with? Who do they call to implement those processes? Do they call on the right people? I'll give you an example. If there is a collaboration, an interaction between the tertiary institution and the artisans, we find that we have a better economy. How? I know the tertiary institution is entrenched in theoretical and research learning, where the artisans are in practical experience and productivity. So imagine where these two comes together. And the students now learn about entrepreneurship through the artisans. And they now see that they can produce things from their projects. And products are being created. The synergy between these tertiary institutions and the artisans will create the nation that we so desire.
All right, thank you so much, Engineer Ekosway Michael.
Not an engineer.
Okay,
okay. I'm just
fine.
a professional in machine
Professional
fabrication.
Yeah. Well, that makes you an engineer.
Thank you, if you say so.
You heard him. It's high time the government took this sector seriously, because we're talking about local innovation, local content. If we really want to make the naira to be almost a par with the dollars, we have to start production. All right, we've seen many innovation, young bright minds bringing out many things, but where are they today? Kind of one talking about drone. He was able to build a drone from scratch. What about the other one able to generate power from a river down there, part of Benin City? He did it. One was able to construct a tractor. Some were able to fabricate cars, planes, yes, helicopter in Nigeria here. Where are they today? There's a clarion call to all that is wanting to make Nigeria a better place, industrialized via local content. Reverend Lugard, I will appreciate your comment. Thank you so much for reminding the government of the day to take local content in terms of technology seriously. Thousands are watching, millions are watching. I believe that they are taking note. I just hope and pray that the Nigerian government will do the needful. Once more, I thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.